Hey guys, Nightfall here, and today I just want to talk about who I think the Lions can trade back with in the draft and what we could probably get in return. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, in my first scenario, I have the Lions trading with the Broncos. In this scenario, we would get the Broncos' 10th overall pick, their third rounder, and their fourth rounder. I've heard a lot of people say that we would only trade back for a second rounder, and as you can tell here, that the points that the Broncos have versus what we have is pretty big. It's a pretty big difference right there. And so this is probably the most realistic scenario for us. And so right here at 10, I would definitely want to either go TJ Hawkinson or Byron Murphy. One of the two. You can also consider trading that pick again, and you can trading that pick with like maybe the Redskins, the Dolphins might want to get in front of the Bengals for maybe a guy like Dwayne Haskins, who they fear might the Bengals might take. And here you can like another thing. The reason why the Broncos might be giving up not that much is because they're not trading up in front of anyone. They're trading up to make sure they get their guy. And so in that case, they don't want to like give up that much. So they're just saying to us that they're gonna give us this much just to make sure that this team can't get him. Okay. And again, if you want to trade that pick back, get an extra second rounder, that'd be great. Okay, here I have the Lions trading with the Bengals. We'd get their first rounder and their second rounder. Both are pretty early in the draft. And so at 11, again, you can trade back with the Redskins, the Giants, one of those teams if you wanted to. If in this case, I'd like to stay at 11, see if TJ Hawkinson's there. If he's not, go Byron Murphy, but make sure that the board and what people want are you know, still available. Because the Packers, they're not going to go Byron Murphy, so might want to trade back with maybe with the Dolphins or the Redskins, because they don't really, because no one in front of them really needs a cornerback. So Byron Murphy could probably be available at 15 just because of the way the draft order is. Because it would go the Packers don't need a cornerback, the Dolphins they probably go Brian Burns on the edge, and then it'd probably be the Falcons. I think they go offensive line or defensive line, and then you'd have us at 15, and we'd probably to go Byron Murphy. In that case, we'd get an extra second round pick, and be able to get Byron Murphy, who we could have gotten at 11. Okay, let's go to this next scenario. Okay, in this scenario, I have the Lions trading with the Dolphins. This is what I keep seeing a lot of. Like everyone's saying, the Lions going to trade the Dolphins, and I really just think it's because the Dolphins have that Patriot connection now. But I think that the Dolphins are going to want to wait another other year for Tua, and the reason I say that is because that team's trash. And I don't think they're gonna want to like trade up for a guy for a quarterback this year. If they're not even gonna, if they're not even don't even want to win, they already got Ryan Fitzpatrick, the bandage, and I think they know they're not gonna do well this year. So I think they've already like settled on Tua, Jake Fromm, or Justin Herbert. And that's just what I believe. If this were to happen, we'd get their first, their second rounder, and their fourth rounder. And at 13, I wouldn't consider trading back unless someone gave us like an extra second, like a second rounder, or maybe a third and a fourth. Like if the Redskins came up and said we'll give you a third and a fourth, I mean I would consider it. But I wouldn't really want to. I wouldn't really want to move back at that spot. I'd want to get best player available, which would probably be Byron Murphy, Brian Burns, maybe T.J. Hawkinson. I doubt it. I think he won't get past the Packers. But in this case, I would like to see this trade happen. Okay. In this scenario, I have the Lions trading with the Redskins. We would get their first rounder, their second rounder, and their late third rounder. At 15, I could definitely see us getting a guy like Byron Murphy, but if he's not there, consider Brian Burns. But if the Dolphins don't trade up with us, then I don't think they're gonna go get a quarterback. I think they might gotta get best player available, and they need an edge rusher. So I think they would probably want to go Brian Burns. I mean, he's local, and he fits what they want to do on defense. And so at 15, I don't think Byron Murphy isn't there. Brian Burns won't be there. Won't be there. T.J. Hawkinson's not there. Trade the pick again. Whenever you don't have a player where you want them, trade that pick, because at that point there's not really anyone else I'd want in the first round, and I'd rather us go back into the 20s and get ourselves an offensive lineman and an extra second round pick. That's just my thought, and yeah. Okay, in this scenario, I have the Lions trading with the Giants. And you might be just thinking that I'm just doing this because the Giants need a quarterback, and I just put them on the list just because of that. But I actually think this is a realistic scenario because the Giants, I think they're gonna want Drew Lock, but I don't think they ever wanted to give up that 6th overall pick. So I think they might want to trade up. They might want to make sure that they get Drew Lock, because I think if they don't, they might want. I think the Broncos might want trade Drew Lock, and they would definitely trade up to. Will take him at 10. So make the Giants make sure that they get Drew Lock, get the quarterback that they want. That 6'4", good arm quarterback. They would give us their first rounder, and their second rounder, which is a pretty early second rounder, and their third rounder that they got in the trade, the Del Beckham trade. And so in this case, we'd have the 17th overall pick. And I don't think by then I think Byron Murphy could be available, but I doubt it. Brian Burns would definitely have been taken by now. And T.J. Hawkinson, it would have been a miracle if he lasted the 17. And so at 17, again, if none of those three guys are there, I would trade the pick. Go in the 20s, get your offensive lineman in the first round, go in the second round, get one of the guys, Dalton Reisner, get yourself a Taylor Rapp, get yourself a Jalen Ferguson with trading up to the early second, and get one of those guys, and get your impact players, because I don't really want to mess around. I don't want DeAndre Baker. I mean, I like what he does, but I don't want a guy with a bad attitude. I've heard he's not that good in the locker room, and I don't want that on the Lions. I don't really care how good you are. If that's what I hear and that's who you are, then no, I don't want myself an Odell Beckham Jr. on our team, and Antonio Brown. I just don't want that. I want us to be a team. I want us just to be a team, and trading back, getting an extra pick, getting an extra player to get P on the team would be very beneficial. And I think if we were to trade back, we'd get like offensive lineman, Cody Ford, Jonah Williams, Dalton Reisner in the second round. You might want to trade up. We use the 43rd overall pick, and our 88th, which is 150 points, and 470 plus 150 is above 600. And so you can definitely get yourself a Jalen Ferguson, get yourself your Dalton Reisner, your Jalen Ferguson, and then maybe at 37, get your Taylor Rapp. I mean, that's the three players that I would really like in the second round. We just get them in one draft. And then we still probably have an extra second rounder, and I think in that case, I'd say trade it away, trade it for an extra maybe third round pick, maybe 2 third round picks, and go in the third round, get yourself Khalil Hodge, get yourself Kahali Waring, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, get yourself a Joequan Williams, in the fourth round, get yourself Blaise Brown, Amani Uwarie. You get yourself one of those guys, and I think if that were to happen, we would have a very solid rookie class, and we would be very solid going into the year. And another thing I want to talk about is Bob Gwine, and that all the smoke screens he's putting up right now, I don't really think are really smoke screens. I think he's really open for business, and that he's just telling the world. But I think he has offers, and that's why he's actually going out and telling everyone that he's open for business, because he wants to see if he can get any better offers. And this team that called him up, or maybe teams called him up, said, if this player's available at 8, we're gonna give you this much to be able to trade up to 8. And Bob Gwine said, okay, that sounds good to me. So in that point, if you have these teams already made these offers and said this player's available at 8, well, we're gonna trade up. Then and you like the offers, then you're just gonna want to get the word out there that we want to trade this pick, and to see if we can get any better offers. And I think that's what's really good, and I think that's pretty smart, because I don't think really anyone expected that. They think he's so smart, he's gonna put up a bunch of smoke screens, all these kind of smoke screens, but I don't think that's the case. I think he really just wants to see if we can get any better offers. Okay, I think that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. You know, shout out to Luke G. He's like helping me get this set it up. I'm just doing my research right now, but you know, shout out to him. You know, he's giving me all these suggestions. He's really helping me out, giving me shout outs on Twitter. You know, really helping, giving me like 3 subscribers. So that's that's great. Thank you so much, man. Now, yeah. And also shout out to everyone else at the Detroit Lions Alliance. I forgot what the name was. I'm sorry, but you know, shout out to all you guys: Marco, Mike, Derek P. Fields, the Gridiron Blitz, Noble Sports Entertainment. All you guys, you know, you're all, you know, I love watching your content, and yeah, hope we can maybe you know, get together some time if once I get a little bigger, once I get this set up, you know, get going, yeah. So yeah, that's it for today. Maybe tomorrow I might try to do a mock draft, but I'm not sure if I might have the time because this is like the only night I do not have homework and I am bored. So yeah, I'm just like, you know, decided to post a video. I posted one last night. You haven't seen it? Check it out. I think it's pretty good. Like shows you who we could get and where, and I think that's pretty good. And so yeah, anyway, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I wish you all a good day. It might sound a little weird, good day. Have a good day.